Hi, this is Kylie Thompson, host of Food for Thought. Thanks for listening to the following podcast on Public House Media.
Welcome and thank you for joining the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast on whatever day it is that you are tuning in. I'm your host, Jenna. I'm a military spouse of 10 years, a mom, a registered and certified dental assistant, and a certified phlebotomist. Again, I just want to say thank you for taking me with you wherever you are and being here with me today. And if you find that anything in today's episode resonates with you, or if you know of someone else who might be interested in hearing this episode, please share it. And as always, I appreciate any and all feedback, which I have been getting a ton of, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. So if you would like to leave me some feedback, please feel free to email me at confessionsofamilspouse@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook at Confessions of a Military Spouse, on Instagram at Confessions of a Mil Spouse, or at publichousemedia.org. So excited for today's episode because I have two very special guests that are very near and dear to my heart. And we are approaching the 2-year anniversary of Confessions of a Military Spouse. So very exciting things happening. And like I said, I'm super excited for the special guests that we have today. And if you looked at the title of the podcast, you're probably thinking perspectives from a different view, meaning like my perspectives from a different view, but that's actually not the case. I actually wanted to bring my husband and my daughter on the podcast today for this very special episode to talk about their perspectives on being a military family. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce you to my husband, Dustin, and our daughter, Ella.
Hello, my fellow dependas.
Hi.
So I already explained to our listeners that I had Dustin and Ella here with me today, and I'm super excited because I want to get your guys' perspective on what it's like to be a military family. So I think the easiest way to do this is to ask you guys a few questions. So Ella, I'll start with you. First of all, tell people how old you are.
I'm 8 years old.
All right. And what do you like about being a military child?
I like going new places and when we move.
Okay, so you like going new places when we move. So like when we move and we get to go try out new ice cream shops or things like that. That's what you like about being a military kid? Mm-hmm. And Mr. Burt, what do you like about being, I guess, a military member or having a military family?
I like the TRICARE and BAH.
I like it too.
I don't have to stay in the barracks anymore.
That's very true. Very true. And if anybody is wondering, no, this was not like a barracks marriage where he could get out of the barracks. I swear we actually like each other. So on to the next question. Ella, we'll go back to you. You seem to have the better answers of the two. What do you dislike about being a military kid?
Whenever we move, leaving my friends.
Yeah. Is it hard to leave your friends?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you still get to keep in contact with them?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to keep in contact with them? Tell other kids that are maybe military kids what you get to do to keep in contact with your friends so maybe they have ideas.
Usually my mom has them in texting on her phone or an email.
What else?
Write letters.
Yeah, do you write letters to your friends, kind of like a pen pal?
Yes.
Yeah. And is that fun to get letters from your friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's hard to miss your friends, isn't it?
It is really hard.
Yeah. Dustin, back to you. You guys, in case you were wondering, it is really hard to sit across the table and have a straight face while asking him questions because he's like the least serious person ever. So anything that he pretty much says, you can just take with a grain of salt. But anyway, Dustin, what is the hardest part about being a military member and having a family while being in the military?
What's not hard? It's all hard. Like, the family is, like, always there. Like, at the end of the day, like, they're the ones that wait on you to come home and do all that hard stuff. And, like, we can leave for months on end, and you guys are just doing all the hard work. So it's difficult. It stinks. But that TRICARE and BH is nice. I don't have to live in the barracks no more. But, you know, in all honesty, like, it's hard being a military family. Like, the military doesn't care about your family as much as what some people think they do. But, like, at the end of the day, like, that's all you have left when you come home, or you get out of the military, you retire, or whatever. Like, the only thing that's left is your family, and you have to take care of them, because if not, like, it makes it even harder on your children, your spouse. It gets hard, it gets interesting, and you just have to really think it out and communicate.
Have you always had this outlook, though?
No, I have not.
And I asked him that question because I already knew the answer. Obviously, he and I have been together for 11 years, so I already knew the answer. But it's an honest statement, and it's a true statement. You know, he hasn't always had that outlook, and I haven't necessarily always had that outlook either. So it's good for us to reflect and see how much we've both grown since he's been in the military. So, Ella, back to you. What is your favorite memory of being a military kid?
Daddy-daughter dances.
Ooh. So, what are daddy-daughter dances, in case there's other kids that are listening that don't know about the daddy-daughter dances?
They're a dance where you and your dad go out and you somewhere and you go dancing together.
Do you get to dress up really fancy?
Yes.
Was that your favorite part about it, was getting to dress up?
My favorite part was dancing with Daddy.
Aww, that's so sweet. Okay, since we're on the subject of dances, let's talk about the Marine Corps Ball. Dustin, let's hear your thoughts on the Marine Corps Ball.
What do you mean, my thoughts?
Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's beneficial? Do you think it's stupid? Let's hear it.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Why? I'm gonna need you to be more specific.
Well, what you see is, well, it's cool because you get to see everyone get dressed up and have a good time and drink lots of copious amounts of alcohol sometimes, and sometimes you don't. Like, sometimes it's just, lots of water, a lot of blue dolphins. But sometimes it stinks because your wife's got to get her hair done, got to get her makeup done, got to get her nails done, you got to get a hotel room, you got to buy the tickets to the dance, and this, that, and the other, and like, sometimes you're spending like $500 to $1,000 just for a dance. But it makes the spouses feel really good, or their dates feel really good, their girlfriends, boyfriends, and they get to dress up, feel good about themselves, go out and dance and have a good meal and just have a good time and celebrate, the birthday of the Marine Corps.
Are you happy or sad that there is not a ball this year?
I'm actually kind of sad.
Why?
Because you can't go out and just have fun. It's been hard this year. Like, we can't do that anywhere.
I will agree. I'm sad that we're not having ball as well. Ella, are you excited that eventually you'll be old enough to go to the Marine Corps ball with us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Are you going to get dressed up and wear a pretty dress and get your hair done and stuff as well? Yeah?
Yes.
Ella, since Halloween just passed and Thanksgiving is coming up and Christmas is coming up, we know that a lot of times military families don't get to spend the holidays with their grandmas and grandpas and cousins and things like that. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel sad because usually me and my family have a big feast together and we sit down and talk about what we're thankful for.
So it makes you sad that you don't get to be around them for those?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's really hard being a military kid, that you don't get to be around your family?
No. I mean, yes.
I mean, if it's no, it's no.
No, I mean, yes.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. Do you think other little kids feel that same way too?
I bet a bunch of little kids feel that way.
Yeah. Do you think it'll get easier as you get older, or do you think it's going to stay hard?
Harder.
You think it's going to get harder?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be harder when you get older to move schools and stuff?
Yes.
Do you ever wish that you could stay in one place for a really long time? Or do you like moving because you get to go to new places?
I like staying at a place for 3 years and then moving.
Okay.
So a little bit of time so I can grow up there a little bit.
So you kind of like both. You like to stay there for a few years and then you're okay to move.
Yeah.
As long as you get to keep in touch with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my family.
All right. So, Dustin, how do you juggle work life and home life?
Well, what you see is, however, pause for effect. It's hard. My wife tells me, aka you, tells me that I live a double life and I'm a split personality kind of guy. But you kind of do because, yeah, you bring work home sometimes, but at the end of the day, work is work and family is family. And when I walk through that door and I come home at night, the only thing that matters is family. Can't bring work home to that. And sometimes it's hard, but at the end of the day, it needs to be two separate things because when I walk through that door, I'm dad. I'm no longer that person, that supervisor at work. I'm walking through the door and I am a dad. I'm a husband. We're family at that point. Work is work and it needs to stay there. And I can't make decisions in my personal life, but I can make them all day at work. That's what my wife tells me. So
Truth. So, do you think other people struggle with the same thing that you struggle with or struggled with separating work and home and finding a balance?
Absolutely, because it can consume your life sometimes. You come home, phone's always going off, your emails are going off, your BlackBerry, your iPhone, it's always going off because of work and the emails and this, that, and the other. So it can be very hard sometimes. But sometimes you just need to turn your phone off or just sit on the counter and leave it alone. And make your family a priority when you're at home.
So along the lines of work, because everybody I think pretty much knows that I work full time, what are your thoughts on spouses working? Do you feel like it's easy for them? Do you feel like it's harder for them? Because you've obviously watched me go through it for 10 years now. So what are your thoughts as, I guess, kind of an outsider, so to speak?
Woo! Let me think. So are you saying do I think it's hard or easy for military spouses that are working? Or just working and not working?
I guess both. Do you think, from your perspective, what do you see as for military spouses, when they want to work outside of the home?
I think it's hard, regardless of the situation, if they're working or they're not, because at the end of the day, they're still left picking up the pieces when the service member can't get off in time or had planned to get off to go do something to pick up the kids or do this errand or go to the bank, and they end up not being able to. So the spouse is picking that up and is doing that in addition to working part-time, full-time, or is not working and is taking care of the kids all day or getting the kids to school on time, picking them up, and then find the time to do those other things that we're constrained by that we can't do because we're working all the time or we don't have the set hours, so we can't just, hey, from 9 to 3 we're working today, or from 8 to 4 we're working today. It's kind of, hey, operational timelines, and there's no set schedule, but I mean there kind of is, but at the end of the day, you don't have a solid schedule sometimes of when you're going to get off because some things come up last minute. Nothing's a priority until everything's a priority and the sky is falling.
Pretty much. So, Ella, you're a pretty seasoned kid, I'd say. And you've been through 2 deployments now. So, give us your thoughts on deployments.
I mean, they're not very good because my dad goes away for a long time, and it's hard because sometimes you don't get to do things like your dad wakes you up.
And so when he's gone, then he doesn't get to wake you up.
No. Or do fun things with you. It's just like you and your mom.
Does it make you sad?
Yes. When he's gone, yes, it does.
But are you really happy whenever he comes home? So I recently posted the video of Daddy coming home the other day. So can you explain to me and everybody else what you were feeling in that video?
I was feeling very happy.
Yeah. So your tears, were they good tears or were they sad tears?
Good. They were happy tears.
They were happy tears. Did you know Daddy was coming home?
No.
Was it a surprise?
Yes.
And is that what made you cry, or were you just so happy to see Daddy?
I was just so happy to see Daddy because I thought he was coming home a different day.
Ah. So we surprised you.
Yes.
All right. I guess kind of on that same subject, Dustin, do you feel like you miss out on a lot whenever you are on deployment or training or anything?
Absolutely.
Do you feel like you miss out just from like Ella's life or from family life in general?
I mean, everything. It encompasses everything when you're gone like that all the time. So, like, when have we spent an anniversary together?
Not this one.
When have we spent a Valentine's Day together? Not that we celebrate it.
No. None.
The only thing I've been fortunate of, if I've been able to be at all of Ella's birthdays besides one, and that was this year. Other than that, I've missed family birthdays, anniversaries, holidays. So it gets hard, and I think when you're younger, it's easier, just from my perspective. But when you get older and you have a family, like, it gets harder, and the more things that you miss are harder on you the older you get, because you're not going to have those forever. So being there for an anniversary or a birthday or anything that's a small celebration that we do in our family, whether it be a Thanksgiving dinner or just certain little things that we do, like missing those things, like we kind of take those for granted when we're younger, but the older we get, the more we kind of see and understand, like those are very meaningful in life, and it's good to have those, and we miss those because we connect with old friends or family, and like it's just good to get out there and talk to those people and have fun.
I will say the one thing I think that probably has broken my heart the most is your last deployment. Was it your last? Yeah, your last deployment. Ella had donuts with Daddy at school, and you weren't able to be there. Thankfully, this school was kind enough to let other people step in and take Daddy's place if Daddy wasn't in the picture or Daddy was gone. And so my dad and my brother actually came out to have donuts with, I guess, Ella. We'll just call it donuts with Ella. And that was nice, but I know it still wasn't the same as if, her dad were to be there. And I think that makes it hard for everybody. Ella, if there's one piece of advice that you could give any kid that's a military kid, what would it be?
Whenever your dad or your mom is gone, make sure you try to keep in touch with them and FaceTime them or text them at least once a day so you can talk to them.
That's really good advice. What about sending care packages? Should they send care packages too?
Yes.
Yeah. Was that fun?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, last and final question for Dustin.
Yay! What is up? Let's go. Let's do it. Come on. Send it. Full send.
Tell me about the green light.
What's a green light?
The green light on the porch?
I don't even know anymore. Like, I'm so not up with the times. Like, the younger...
What did it used to be?
I don't know. I'm not up with the times. The younger service members keep me in tune with what's going on. I was told something about like a broom on the porch back in the day with a porch light on, like some weird stuff going on. But I don't get involved with that stuff, so I just don't know. You know, like the young service members keep me up to date on what's going on. Like that's how I keep myself young. I don't like to age myself after being in over 15 years.
I'm really disappointed. I thought you knew about this green light situation.
No, I think the green light just means you support military until they all come home.
Oh boy. All right. So
that's the right answer. The green light means till they all come home.
Oh boy. He clearly has a lot of learning to do. But nonetheless, I want to say thank you to you, Ella, and to you, Dustin.
Hey, can I just make one more comment?
Of course.
You're welcome for my service, babe.
Okay, so anyway, thank you guys for being here with me today.
And it is payday. Woo!
Oh my Lord. You guys, this is what I have to live with. Anyway, thank you, Ella. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you to all of my listeners. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode and the craziness. This is like literally just the beginning of what it is like to live with my husband. I'm pretty sure my 8-year-old did better than my husband did. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed recording it.